Going live. Hopefully this works.
We won't get another go if it doesn't.
Evening all. Can you just let us know in the chat that you can see us and hear us? That'll be perfect. Might just line up the game screen a little bit better so that you can see a bit more. There we go. Can everyone hear us? And it's just like this awkward silence. Yet. Yeah. No, we don't see you.
Captain saying all good.
Oh, cool. Perfect. Evening, everyone. Welcome to the Gameweek 35 preview stream, and I'm not Luke. I'm Rob, or FPL at FPL Panda, and I'm joined by not Andy, but Martin at CM Fantasy. How you doing, Martin? All good?
Yeah, good mate. Good mate. How are you? Yeah. So, apologies, everyone. You'll have to make do.
But... Yeah, we could have just put you in a robe, and people would have not thought anything different. But hopefully you can give us some insight into what you think about the next game week. I know that your pod came out. It was this morning, wasn't it? It came out.
Morning. Yeah.
And maybe we can, towards the end, we can chat a little bit about the big news of the week, which was a treble game week locked in for Man United, which for some is a good thing, and for some others, like myself, I think it's a bad thing.
I'm there.
So let's get straight into it. I think normally Luke just goes briefly through the games. I'm sure you can give us more your sort of input into it, like the stats wise. So we'll start off with Blackburn Villa. Was it expected?
No, I think this was probably the standout result that wasn't expected. Definitely expected a home win in this one. Blackburn are normally good at home, so I can't remember what the stats were, but I'm guessing if you click on match stats that Villa won't have had many shots.
No, it doesn't look like they did. 3, 7, 9. I think it's all together.
High, actually, but...
Yeah, 9.
I
know that Vesterveld came out with so many save points. 2 save points, which wasn't bad for him. Okay, next game, Chelsea-Watford. A lot of people on free hits banked on Chelsea defenders. I know I saw Kudicini in a lot of free hit teams. He was in mine. So the Watford goal was a bit of a killer for a lot of people. But I think more or less expected result there. No surprises.
Yeah, definitely. Standard Chelsea home win, couple of goals, but yeah, a bit unlucky they conceded.
Yeah, I think the only surprise was the fact that they conceded, more or less. Then we had Ipswich Bolton. What were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this one looked like it could be a fun game. In the Sims, I think this was a hard one to call. I mean, you normally back the home team when it's difficult to call. But Bolton did look like they had a bit of potential. So, 2-2, not too surprising, really. Definitely expected both teams to score. So,
yeah, it was one that I didn't want to touch sort of defensively. I mean, Bolton away from home have been awful defensively anyway. It wasn't one for me. Then we had the goal fest at Elland Road between Leeds and Arsenal. I think this was expected. Leeds look so really strong at home, obviously top of the league as well, and Arsenal I think in this sim are just consistently awful away from home. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely expected the home win. I didn't expect Arsenal to score twice really, because they play defensively away against the big teams, but it can happen. It's just one of those. They took their chances, but they got the players to do it. But yeah, definitely expected the home win there.
Yeah, I got there was a bit of jam in this with Rio Ferdinand getting 2 assists. I just had him in for the potential Leeds clean sheet. And he normally does get a decent rating, especially at home. And yeah, I was not expecting 2 2 assists from him. He
No,
suddenly became the assist king.
yeah, that's a good result, that is. But yeah, these things, anything can happen. Anything
Yeah,
can happen. And it shows you, didn't it? It's always a bit of a lottery. You can have an idea of what will happen, but then you get stuff like that. So
yeah. Another week it's someone else. It's Radibi picking up those 2 assists, and another week
yeah,
it's Singh or Kelly, and it's crazy. And then someone called it a shock, but I was almost expecting this sort of something like this from Leicester. Maybe not 5
yeah.
though.
Yeah, same. I thought they were due a good home win. They've been a bit of a letdown in their easy home games this season compared to last season. But yeah, I felt they were due this kind of result that where they're expected to get it, and they just get it done. But yeah, like you say, 5 is a bit much. But I fancied them to score 2 or 3 as well.
Yeah, it was. It's one of those where I thought it was a case of Derby. Obviously, I think out of all of the fixtures, it was the weaker, potentially weakest away team other than Charlton. So yeah, really wanted to target Leicester and Sunderland, get some of their assets in, especially on a free hit. I thought it made sense.
Definitely, I
And
saw
yeah,
lots of free hits with double and triple Leicester. So yeah, I was glad to see that because I thought they were a good bet. And
yeah,
Muzzy, as it was my transfer in as well. So happy that he got in on it.
is it Scowcroft? And then I think it was a case of trying to just gamble on one other person. And yeah, it's just Akinbaye's kind of been sort of a silent assassin in that way. Like no one
Yeah,
really would have piled into him. Then Man City losing at home to Everton. Show you inconsistent from Man City. 1 week they
yeah,
look good at home, the next week they look bad at home.
they're on a terrible run, aren't they? If you believe in form, like I think they could end up going down. I think awful run they're on.
Yeah, they haven't won. God, when was the last time they won? 1st of February. It was probably
Yeah,
12 game weeks ago.
yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy run.
You think sometimes you run like season-long sim and they can finish like 6th or 7th, but so they've been bad, really bad.
Yeah, and we were really excited about one shot Huckabee, Tiato as someone that when we were simming pre-season to work out the prices, he came up a lot in our pre-season sims, and he was one of the people we really struggled to go with the right price with. We didn't want to be too high, obviously, but yeah, it's a shame, really. If they do go down, you'd expect some of those players maybe to stay in the Premier League. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Next up, Millwall versus Newcastle. Millwall grabbing a point at home against Newcastle, who just another inconsistent team. They look like they'd kind of got over that slump they had towards the Christmas period, and
yeah,
they come out the other side of Christmas and been pretty good. Shearer has been picking up returns. He picked up another return this week. I don't know. Do you think it was? Did you think Newcastle would pull off a result away, or did you think this would be sort of fair to how you simmed?
I think a score draw was probably about right. And Newcastle are always difficult to predict because their tactic is so bad that they can just have games where they won't score. But then on the other hand, you've got players like Shearer and Dyer that despite them having the tactic that doesn't really suit the game, they can get a result anyway. So it's always really difficult to call. When you sim Newcastle 20 times, you always get quite a high clutch of clean sheets for the opposition. So it makes it difficult to predict what they're going to do. But it can never be a surprise when Shearer scores, really.
No, I mean he is one of the best strikers in the game. Like back then, he was one of the sort of top 5 strikers in the world, still, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah.
So he's one of the best strikers in the game. Sunderland, Charlton, Kevin Phillips, I think, was the big captain this week, and he duly returned for everyone that had him. Sorry for anyone that didn't have him. Did you have? I'm assuming you must have Captain Phillips.
I did, yeah. So I've been holding Phillips for weeks now, and it hasn't really worked out because I got rid of Viduka for him like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and Viduka started going off like from that point. Phillips has done okay, but just not as well as Viduka. So, but he pulled a bit back this week because I had him in the team. Viduka's injured, saved me a transfer. So, but yeah, I did have him captain. So
Yeah, he's been one of the. Yeah, I've really liked him this year. I mean, I've had him. I had him for both the hat tricks. One of them I captained him.
yeah,
The other one, I think I took a gamble on someone else again and went against captaining Phillips, and he went and banged in a hat trick, and it was.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it was by far the standout, and I think the other thing from this game was Charlton had their relegation confirmed. Yeah, horrific season for them.
yeah.
Whether it, whether they can play for some pride now and pick something up and cause a couple of upsets towards the end of the season, I don't know. I wouldn't expect any miracles. And then
Mm.
Middlesbrough away to Spurs was the final game. I was expecting a sort of Spurs to win by like 2-1 or something like that,
Mhm.
rather than the other way around. I had Salakovic in my free hit, and looks like I kind of got a bit lucky with yeah, him scoring. I mean, Spurs only had
Oh, yeah.
two shots on target in the whole game, and at home that's horrendous.
Really poor. And he scored from a deeper position as well. He wasn't even up front, so he did all right there.
Yeah, well, the only so say it was Salakovic that had the two shots on target as well. So yeah, it's good that he got a return. Middlesbrough, yeah, doing Middlesbrough things. The postman, he delivers again. For those that have still got him, and Miguel Cepeda, who's having a great debut season in the Premier League. Yeah, picked up another goal to add to his tally. He's now on 13 goals and 9 assists for the season, which is really good. He probably one of the best value for money players in the whole game. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's been great value. Like I say, but it's difficult. Like on another sim, him and Seattle could have been the other way around, like quite easily. So, but yeah, he's been great.
All right, shall we get into the teams then? Let's have a look at what injuries there are. I don't think there's much this week by way of sort of big injury news or yeah, anything really. Yeah, the transfer window is now closed, so there's no no new transfers going in and out. As you can see, Arsenal all good. Yeah, no flags there whatsoever. So they look good to go. I don't think we need to spend much time talking about them now. We can maybe talk about them when we go through the next
Yeah,
game week fixtures.
yeah.
Villa, Danny Mills, that's not new, is it? It's, old injury, still got 3 weeks to go, so I think that brings him back in for 38. Stephen Carr on an orange injury, out for a few days, 81%. So yeah, he'll miss this game week, but I doubt anyone's got him. Other than that, nothing to
So
report from Villa.
it was Hitzelsberger that came in for the Mills, right? Wasn't it? I think. Or did he play? Did he play right back?
Let's have a quick look. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
if you're fancying, I don't know what price he is offhand. I'm sure he's probably decent value. If you need if someone wants to put in the chat how much he is, then that would be good. Yeah, not much else to report from Villa. I think most of the sort of first half of teams, there's not much going on. Blackburn, Solano, still out for 10 days, but is on 90%, so maybe a chance he could play if people fancy an OOP or reverse OOP player in their team, because I believe he's mainly playing fullback this season. But other than that, nothing much from Blackburn. Lucas Neal 85%. That's about it, I think. Bolton. These two players aren't even in the game yet. Michael Carrick is 68%. If that's your thing. Other than that, Bolton, yeah, it's not much going on there at the moment. Charlton, right, there's a few new ones. I think it's just one new one, and that is our man Fatty Dinser is injured for 2 weeks with his twisted knee. He's also got a ban. Didn't spot that coming. So he's got 3 match. Oh yeah, he's had the red card last week.
Yeah, Gameweek the week before. Yeah.
So I must have forgot to put the future suspension flag on him. So he's got a ban on from the 26th of the 4th for 3 games. So this week is his last game of the season.
Okay.
And he's injured, so
not going to play again.
Yeah. So Fatty Dinser, if he's in your squad, then I suppose he's 4.5. You're not going to be getting much better in, are you? I think you just sit him on your third place on your bench. I think it's only people like myself who. Do I own him? Yes, I do own him. I'll probably be moving him out. Try and squeeze in a 5 million just to someone like Madison, just because I've got a bench boost sitting there, so I'll need to use it. So it'll probably be someone like Madison that I bring in.
Yeah, you got a couple of options at Millwall with a double game week coming up as well.
Yeah. Other than that, I think Michael Clegg's in the game. He's obviously out like forever. Sean Bartlett 88%, but I'd expect him to play still. What else? You're 89%. Again, I'd expect him to play. That's about it from Charlton. Captain has said, "Rest up, Fatty." Yeah, rest up. You'll be here for season 3. It's okay.
Sorry, Panda. Ronerid's asking why. What's Yule's transfer request? Like, what's the reason?
Let's have a quick look. He would now like to stay at the club. So I'm guessing he.
Now they've been relegated. He fancies a 30-goal season.
Oh, I would. Yeah, I think Yule and Bartlett will be players that will move on somewhere. I think they're far too good for. Well, although we saw. Is it Fulham? I think we'll have a look later. I think they've still got a couple of their stars in there from last season. On to Chelsea. The John Kennedy is out for a month. I think that means he's back for game week 38. 18th might be back for 38, but he doesn't really start week in, week out anyway. Christensen out for 2 weeks. Again, I think he was added to the game this week or last week. And then we've got Emmanuel Petit out for 3 weeks still with groin strain. So he'll be back for 37, I believe. And a few players with low conditions. Zola on 74%, Gronkiar on 84%, Russell 85, and the rest is Keenan in the game 85, Holden 90. I think they're the only two up there other than the rest that are actually in the game.
How many days have those low condition guys got before the?
So where are we at? We're at the 19th. So they've got a day. So how much percent does it go up each day?
I think it's like 7 or 8%, something like that.
So you'd expect Gronkiar to be over 90. So he probably will start. Would you think?
Yeah, I would think so. although he's not really first choice anyways.
No.
Zenden and Cardoni would be their
Ah,
first
yeah, yeah.
choice, but he'll be available.
Then right on to Derby. Not much to report here. Carbonari, still got a few days with his gashed leg, 56%. So yeah, he's not playing. Other than that, nothing big. Ron Ridge said Terry's stats. We'll go back. Yeah, nothing big with Derby. Let's have a quick look at how Terry's stats are. There you go. You can tell me tell everyone what everything means.
Well, it will be. It will be going up. Obviously, Terry's young in the game. He's got high potential ability. He goes on. He usually goes on to play lots of times for England. So it will be. It will be. I don't know what these numbers were at the start of the season exactly, but they will be getting higher. So yeah, you can see 20 heading there. 20 decisions, 20 bravery, like they're all key stats for a centre back. So yeah, he's definitely coming on.
Yeah, probably be one of the top defenders next season, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely.
Everton, right? I know there's a bit of news here. Big Duncan Ferguson is out for 10 days with a thigh strain. Actually, I think that's the only. Is that the only news from Everton?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Gemmell out for 2 weeks. Cleland not in the game. Gravison 33%, still out for 10 days. Greenwood 90. Alexo 88. He's not in the game though, so it doesn't matter about him. Yeah, how's Rooney getting on? Let's have a quick look.
He's
still terrible.
Yeah. He doesn't really get any better in this patch. Some of the later patches they released, he gets better, but yeah, the original game he was awful.
Yeah, I think the patch that I'm playing, he's awful, and then he starts off with really low stats, but then they increase really quickly, and I think by the end of the first season, he's generally starting for Everton because his stats just increase so quickly.
Yeah. Isn't he like forward right as well in this or something, which like just isn't really a thing that any team
forward left, yeah.
Left.
Cool. That's Everton. Ipswich. Thomas Garzo out for 2 weeks, groin strain. Prutton out for his season's over. That's about it from Ipswich. It's really rubbish at the moment for injuries.
Well, I suppose after last week's chaos, I suppose no guarantee what we'll get from people rotating, I suppose, but
yeah,
people might be done with just a normal week, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, with all the rotation that was everywhere last week, I think all the players were kind of rested up, and anyone of importance was given the week off, apart from a couple of these guys. Harry Kewell is out for 10 days with a stubbed toe. Prayers for Harry Kewell's stubbed toe. So he'll be out for 2 game weeks. So he'll be back for 37. Michael Dewberry his season is over. So you'd imagine now that Ferdinand and Woodgate is locked for the rest of the season as the 2.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll risk Larson or Bridges on an orange flag now, because Viduka and Kewell, so that's 2 out of the potential front 3 are not available.
So yeah, Viduka's still got a week to go, so he should be back next week. If not, then the week after. Larson has got a few days. When do Leeds play next? They play tomorrow on the sim, so he's bought himself a day. for him to be fit. Bridges, I believe, is 1 day, so it could be Bridges that starts. I think maybe.
Could be, yeah, it could be. It could be either of them. I mean, Larson, he's over the threshold to be selected. So we've seen it before, haven't we? We saw it with Henry earlier in the season. He played with an orange flag and got through it. But
it's high risk,
yeah.
isn't it? High risk, but then potential high reward to go with it.
But Alan Smith should be nailed to play up front, I would think, with Viduka and Kuhl both out.
Which yeah, I mean, we'll talk a bit about this week's fixtures towards the end, but yeah, he could be a great value pick for the next couple of weeks, maybe, or at least a week. Who next? Leicester. Nothing to report. Scowcroft, 84%. And that is about it, really. Leicester play Leeds on the Sunday. Yeah, this is one of the fixtures I do want to get into because I'm not sure whether the league is done and dusted, but we'll talk about that when we talk about the week's fixtures and the treble game week. Yeah, so nothing to report from Leicester. Liverpool, Owen still fighting to be back for the end of the season. I think when this week's flags get updated, I think I've got him down to return for 37. I have to double check, but yeah, I think 37 it works out at. Other than that, nothing to report from Liverpool. The only other thing was, they won their second leg against Celta 3-1 to take them through. Heskey and Partridge on the score sheet. They played a boring formation, 4-4-2. Not much really to report from that.
No, not really. That's classic Liverpool, 4 shots on target.
Yeah. Cool. Mike Day, Owen for the double. Just turn up for the last day of the season.
Could do.
Right, Man City. We are a Man City, isn't it? Liverpool, Man City. Yes. Yep. New injuries. Alf-Ingy Haaland got broken toe, out for 2 weeks, so he'll be out till game week 37. Hallworth 3 weeks with a damaged shoulder. A 2 who isn't in the game. Mackin on 87%, Hurtado 71%, so I'd expect he might be out or a risk. Ritchie 88%, McQuilkin on 90. That's it from City. Who did they got this week? They've got Derby.
Yeah, it's not a bad fixture.
Right, Man United. Nothing to report other than they are in the Champions League semi-finals with a billion fixtures between now and the end of the season. Someone said Roy Keane broke Haaland's toe. That's where Roy Keane's been. He hasn't been injured. He's been... Oh no, they must have clashed toes. Roy Keane's still out for a week with his broken toe, but he is on 33% and in need of a rest as well. So Ricardo Leal apparently must be... did he play at some point recently? Leal. I'm sure I saw him in a lineup somewhere. He must have. It must have been the warm up for the quarter-final second leg that tired him out a little bit. Chadwick 87%. United play on the Sunday, so he'll be good. Other than that, nothing much else to report from them. We'll talk about their fixture congestion at the end. Barthez triple captain could surpass Poom. It's an interesting one.
Maybe.
Middlesbrough, Hansen, who's out on loan anyway, he's at Wimbledon. He's injured, but other than that, Middlesbrough are all clear and ready to go. My mouse is like fucked. I keep having to I keep clicking things and it doesn't stay there. Right, McAnespie 14%, out still for a few days with strained knee ligaments. Everyone else over 90. Cherno there on 100%. Yeah, didn't he score this week? Yeah, he did score.
Yeah, came off the bench and scored. Livermore played well as well. He's transfer request, is he?
Yeah. I would now like to stay at the club because he got a start, didn't he? So there you go.
Well, yeah. I was interested in that because he can get good as well. So if he is transfer listed and ends up going to a decent team, and then ends up playing because he gets a reputation boost, like that could be potentially interesting.
Is Nedved cup tied for the FA Cup?
He shouldn't be because he's playing abroad.
Yeah, I wouldn't. He won't even tell us until the week of the FA Cup.
He won't play the Champions League games.
It won't actually indicate whether he was cup tied until after that Lazio game.
Yeah, until it's the next game coming.
Yeah. So, but I'd assume that he's not cup tied. Yeah, and he played. Did he play in Europe?
I think he would have played for Juventus previously, so he won't be playing.
Yeah, he's cup tied. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't think that he's cup tied in the FA Cup. Might be one for you to have a look at.
Yeah, I'm certain he won't be because
it would be Italian Cup, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right, Newcastle. Kieran Dyer has. I think he was low condition last week, and now he's out for 10 days with a twisted knee. So yeah, he won't be playing for the next 2 game weeks. So he's out, and Laurent Robert is out for a week with a gash leg. So he'll miss just this game week at the moment. It's a shame, really.
Both their wide players. That's a bit of a blow, actually.
The home fixture against Ipswich could have been something to, like, for those fancying a punt. Dyer could have been one to punt on, but
that definitely reduces the quality of the service into
Shearer.
Yeah, their replacement wingers aren't brilliant.
Who are the replacements? It's would it be?
They stuck. So they played Bernard this week. So who might play right?
Acuna.
Yeah, there's a lot of pretty uninspiring options, isn't there? They don't really have many right-sided midfielders, do they?
No, it could be Acuna then. Meh.
Not great.
It's not great at all. But other than that, those two, everyone else is okay. Ronald, that Newcastle squad is a mess.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Everyone's unhappy. I haven't had Joe Kinnear's insecure now. So if they don't do much better, if they don't do any better for the next couple of weeks. He could be gone before the end of the season, but probably too late to change anything. I've just noticed Peter Shreves is slightly insecure at Sunderland, and Gianluca Vialli. Did you see him last night? He was like the most stylish man in Wembley.
Yeah.
He had his like little white flat cap on, his grey suit.
Yeah. Did you see the picture as well? It was like Mancini and Vialli like doing a similar embrace at Sampdoria like 20 years ago or something when they were playing there. Vialli looks exactly the same. Sorry, Mancini looks exactly the same, and Vialli's just
he's got hair, isn't he? He's got a lot of hair.
Mancini's done well. He looks like he was 40 when he was like 25, but he's still 40 now.
Probably looks better now. John Shanley said Cadamartri or Bellamy maybe to go in those. Can't see Bellamy, mate. I can't really see Bellamy going out there. Maybe
they've not really used him this season, have they? I'm not sure who they'll pick. Whoever's had the most appearances so far, I would guess.
Doesn't show you appearances, club appearances, does it? League appearances, stats.
That's it. And then you can filter on appearances. That's the one.
Who's in there near the top? Cunha's 10.
Yeah, I would guess him on that basis.
Bernard 14. So probably them two.
Yeah.
And Bellamy 5. Traditional. Double clicking. Doing it again.
Yeah, Heskebo saying Maddison on the right. That's the other option they've got. They could switch Maddison out and play someone else centre mid. But
right, Sunderland. It's all the rubbish players that are injured. Macho not in the game. Mayo not in the game. Bellion doesn't play, so it doesn't really matter. He's out for a few days. Jacob Lawson is out for a few days with a damaged kneecap. Him and Bellion. Oh no, Bellion's is a hip injury. Varga 86%, Libra 87%. And that's about it. Everyone else is all good, and Sunderland play on the 19th. So they play today. Few players are unhappy. I'd be unhappy playing in the northeast. Spurs. Everton is the new injury this week, out for a month with a groin strain, so pushing it for Gameweek 38. The background changes are messing with my mind. Yeah, sorry, that's Perlo's bid. Sorry, because obviously on Luke's version of the game, for the way that we do the data capture from the stats, we have one background that works. So he has all the other backgrounds removed from the game file, which I obviously don't have. So yeah, you've got changing backgrounds tonight, unfortunately. So yeah, Everson out till possibly 38 with a groin strain. Bunchevchevich is out for a week with a damaged heel. Anderton is on 84%, but that's about it. So it just strengthens Rebrov. Well, Rebrov's always going to start anyway. Who's been starting when there has been injuries? It'd be Wright Phillips or Wood. Wood's started a few, hasn't he?
Yeah, Wright Phillips and Wood have both been thrown in at various points, haven't they? But I'm not sure. I know Slakovic played in midfield in the last game, but since McLeish has come in, he's generally been playing up front with Rebrov. So wouldn't surprise me if it was Rebrov and Slakovic back up front, and then someone else will come into centre midfield.
Just picked a random fixture. Yeah, there you go. But then it's got to change something because they're rubbish at the moment. This is Ziga out in the cold. And then finally, Watford. God, it's so boring for injury news. I want Panda and my pronunciation. What? Bunjevcevic. We got it right.
Yeah.
Is it Albert Ferrer?
Yeah.
Albert Ferrer. Out for 2 months with a torn groin muscle. So his season's over. Craig Harrison out for a few days. Swannell 88%. They play today. So anyone with Sam Swannell, just be aware. I think that's about it for Watford. There's like no real injury news whatsoever, other than Dyer and Robert, really, and the Leeds guys. Yeah, pretty boring week. Captain Bunjevcevic. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the world transfers. Obviously, there's not much going on in the Premier League. Let's have a quick look, just because I haven't checked it yet this week. Occasionally, you get like Premier League players just randomly being released.
Right.
So, yeah, just in case I miss anything, nothing to go from there. We've had a look at the manager job information. Yeah, looked at that. What else do we need to look at? Let's start looking at next week, and if there's anything anyone in particular wants to see or look at, just drop it in, and yeah, we can quickly flick through. So first up, we've got Villa versus Sunderland. This is where you can come in and tell me that Kevin Phillips isn't an option this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I think I wouldn't be too surprised if Sunderland score. I'd say they probably got about a 50% chance of scoring. If they do score, it's likely to be Phillips involved, isn't it? But yeah, expect Villa to win that one. Dublin and Angel have both come out really well in my sims this week. So yeah, so it was like 3-1 Villa, something like that. 2-1, 3-1 Villa.
Yeah, I think if there wasn't all of the fixture news, I think Dublin is someone that I'd really be wanting to get in. He's having he started off the season relatively quiet, but then sort of in the second half of the season, he seems to have returned almost every week. It's insane returns, 22 goals from 31 appearances. Why has he not got more England caps? I don't know. Done really well in this sim this season. Charlton versus Spurs. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Ron Orange asked if the team of the year has been picked for the Premier League, so we'll have a look at that shortly. Charlton versus Spurs.
Interesting on this. It could be a fun game. I think it's a bit of a crap off, isn't it? But Charlton will be attacking at home. Spurs won't be as attacking, so you'd fancy Charlton to score because they'll be a bit more aggressive. But then you'd also fancy them to concede because they're rubbish. So fancy both teams to score, maybe like 2-1 Charlton or 2-2, something like that.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think you'd expect Charlton to score at least once because Spurs have been just awful away and at home, but yeah, particularly awful away. I mean, the last few results: 4-0 against Man United away. They got a 1-1 against Bolton, then 4-0 against Ipswich away. That's the last 3 away results. and then in the cup 4-0 against Arsenal. It doesn't hold much hope for them. But don't know. I think if I still got Selakovic in my main. He was in my free hit. Is he in my main team? I can't remember. I'd still probably play him, even away from home.
I'll be playing. I'll be playing Anderton in that. I think Ronald had said in the chat earlier, surely no one owns Anderton, but I've owned him for 4 or 5 weeks now. He's done absolutely nothing, but it was a bit of a punt. But I think all the other Spurs midfielders have returned at least once or twice in that time. He's the only one that hasn't.
Always the way.
But yeah, he's got another chance this week. But.
Derby County versus Man City. I'm going to go for an away win. And I think that would actually. Let's have a quick look. No, Derby. It's Millwall that could probably go down this week or next week.
So if Derby win that, it makes it interesting, doesn't
it? Yeah, it brings like Watford, Newcastle down there, City are down there. Derby win, then it. Pulls City right in
against Leeds, so they'll be in it.
I just wouldn't be punting. It's kind of maybe a meaningless game fantasy wise. Yeah,
kind of. I think if I was free hitting, I'd put Tiato in just because wingers against Derby take set pieces as well. If I was free hitting, I'd probably pick Tiato for this one just because he's got that high ceiling. It's got all the ingredients. But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't be transferring someone in.
Next game, Middlesbrough versus Bolton, and this is a game I'm actually thinking. Looking at the fixtures this week. This fixture is one that interests me for Middlesbrough, and it's at the moment between these two, Boxic and Rickard. I've got Pedersen at the moment, and I don't fancy him away from home, so it's quite easy to just switch to him to one of those two.
Yeah.
It's annoying though. Boxic probably hasn't had the season that we'd all expected, but he's picked up 18 goals. It's just never they've all been one goal, whilst Rickard he's got 15, but they've been he's picked up a brace here and a hat trick there and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
if you've got on and off him at the right times, he's been a hero. Whereas Boxic, you've needed to hold him all season to get the best out of him.
So yeah, I'm probably going to take. I'll probably be one of those that I sort of have a look at what other people are doing and go the other way.
That's good. Yeah, it's a shout at this stage, isn't
it? Just to. I'm on the cusp of the top 100, and really want to. I've been flicking around between 100 and 150 for about 20 game weeks, and I just want to get into that 100. I think the highest I've been is 101st, and just can't break into that double-digit rank.
You got your game week rank 1 in.
Got that in. I've had I think this season an 8 and a 6, I think, or 7, and it was nice to get 1. Last season I had a 3. I think I had at some point, which is good. Newcastle, Ipswich, Shearer. If you've got him, probably captain material. Although with Dyer and.
Yeah, I'd say with those injuries, I'm not so sure now. I mean, Shearer at home against an average team, you'd always consider him, but he's got a couple of things against him now. I think when you've got Henry at home to Millwall and Dublin looks good this week. Leeds are in an attack versus attack game. I don't know. I think I'm not sure now.
I don't own any new. I think I've got Maddison. I'll probably play Maddison. and Ipswich. Who have I still got from Ipswich? I think I've just got Doherty,
Yeah.
but he doesn't seem to be playing OOP anymore. So that looks like that a little exciting period that we had where we had like a 4 point. Was he 4.5 or
4.5, yeah, 4.5 striker
4.5? Yeah,
getting 6 points for a goal.
yeah. Um, yeah, it's kind of that's fallen apart. I think it's where it'll be where his rep increased when he joined the club, and then it's gradually gone down now, and so he's just slotting back in centre half. Is that generally how it's worked?
It could be that. I don't know. I just think Ipswich have just got so many options up front that
I think there
was
wasn't there. I think Pablo was injured. I think Armstrong was injured.
Yeah,
At one point,
when he first joined, there were injuries. Yeah, because I didn't bring him in to start with because I thought, as soon as those guys are fit, he won't play up front, and then he just kept doing it. So I had to get him in. But
well, they kept getting injured as well. Like there was, I think Marcus Stewart. I think he there was a couple of times where he like came back, played like half an hour or a half a game, and then would re-injure himself again. And the same with Alan Armstrong. He was another one that just sort of was in and out. Yeah, he's only made 24 appearances this season.
Yeah, they're like all those three strikers. They're difficult to sim Ipswich because they're all quite close on ability and reputation. So you always get a mixture of like who the front two is. So yeah, it's difficult to say whether he'll come back in and play another game up front or not. I think.
Well, we're back to someone just asked for Marinelli's stats. He's broken through into the team, and I thought it was just for a fleeting moment because of rep or whatever. But he seems to be kind of locked in now in the centre midfield at Middlesbrough.
Yeah, they've decided Ince is past it. I think maybe.
Yeah, I don't. Where is the governor? I mean, he's still good.
Still good, yeah. I think he's got his coaching stats have appeared now. Maybe that's something to do with it. Maybe that's triggered something where they've decided he's on his way out. I don't know.
He's very determined. I think that's all that Paul Ince was as a coach, just very determined. He didn't. Is he still coaching? I don't think he is. I know he's an awful pundit. He's one of those.
He did all right with MK Dons, didn't he? And with another lower league team as well, he did well with. But then when he went to Blackburn, it was a bit of a shambles.
Yeah, wasn't he at Wolves at one point as well?
Did he manage Wolves as well? He played for Wolves, definitely.
I think he was manager at Wolves. Right, before I forget, let's we'll quickly do Watford, then we'll check with the team of the year has been picked. Quickly have a look at the Div 1 table, and then we'll move on. Actually, we'll do the tables at the end, then we'll move on to the next day. So Watford, Blackburn. I'm going Watford. Tommy Smith or Helgeson. I think are decent picks this week if you're wanting a punt.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue against that. I'm not sure who'll win the game, but I think both teams to score. I think this could be a 2-2 or a 3-2 either way kind of game. Because Watford will come out and attack, but Blackburn have got good attacking players themselves. So I think it's one of them that could be potentially a decent game. But it's always difficult to predict what formation Blackburn will play. But
yeah,
it's got potential to be a high scoring game. With both teams involved in it. I think
that was an away game, and that was another away game. Yeah, two completely contrasting formations. Although, who was that first one? That was Derby. That was Arsenal. Let's go with another lesser team. There you go, Charlton. Yeah, so you'd expect them to play this against Watford, I'd imagine.
Yeah, so they've got plenty going forward there, haven't they? So yeah, say it could be 2-2 or 3-2 either way. I'm saying for that one.
Cool. Let's just quickly. That was the team of the week for last week. Have they done? Team of the Year. 0203. They have done Team of the Year. Oh, there you go.
Oh wow.
Westerveld, Sylvestre, Southgate, Horidason, Melberg. How many of
Melchior.
the How many of these would be in the fantasy team of the year? Maybe. I
Rude and
think
Henri, maybe.
Rude, Veron
Ben
is up there. Zepeda's up there.
Gardner's up there for defenders, definitely. Southgate, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
That's all right, actually. Melchior centre midfield is a bit questionable. You just chuck him anyway because he's got a high average rating, I suppose.
yeah. I suppose he's a centre mid. He is defensive midfielder. So, who got manager of the year? Must be. Oh, it hasn't been awarded yet.
Oh, that hasn't been done yet. So yeah, okay.
Oh, is that at the end of the season? Do they do the manager awards or player of the season?
Yeah, they do a player of the season and a manager of the season once the trophies have been handed out. So yeah, if Man United win the Champions League, but Leeds win the Premier League, I'm not sure who'll get it. I'd say O'Leary will probably get it because he won the Champions League, but that's not quite often.
He'll get the highest. It's in that hall. It's in the Hall of Fame thing, isn't it? He'll get like the highest points boost.
And he's gone to the FA Cup final as well. So
imagine if United do claw it back; it'd be amazing. Right, Everton, Liverpool, Merseyside derby. There's some pretty good games actually on the Sunday. That would be a good Sunday afternoon in. That would. So yeah, Everton, Liverpool. I'm fancying Kevin Campbell. I've got him, so yeah, he's not leaving my team this week. Yeah, I think he potentially, like, Liverpool haven't looked great away from home.
No, I think yeah, it doesn't look as exciting as some of the other games. This one, I think, like, hopefully there'll be a red card or something, or a couple of red cards that turn it into something crazy. But otherwise, I think it could be like a 1-1 or a 2-1 either way.
Yeah, I just fancy Everton to do the business. Yeah, have I got anyone else? I might have Unsworth. I might start Unsworth as well. Well, I'm almost definitely will because I think I've only got 3 home defenders this week. So
yeah. He's quite good at picking up bonus points at home, even if they concede. So it's worth. Yeah, he could get something.
And not a bad average. Leicester v Leeds. Right, I'm a Leicester fan for this game week. Should we? I mean, whilst we're on the subject of this, so we tried to work it out earlier, but we think so. For Man United to stay full strength in the treble game week, we need Leeds to definitely be full strength throughout the treble game week. We need Leeds to drop points in 2 games, I believe.
Yeah, we want them to drop points before game week 37, and we need Man United to win both their games as well. But even then, Man United need to get points against Bolton if Leeds beat Watford as well. So basically, Man United can't slip up at all. We need Leeds to slip up, otherwise I think there's a real danger that the Millwall game in Man United's treble could be a bit of a write-off, and potentially even the Liverpool game as well. If Leeds keep winning, because it's not in Man United's hands. If Leeds keep winning, then it will be over. There's nothing Man United can do about it.
Yeah, so they'll just go into full rep mode once they hit that treble. You'll see low condition players that have played the Champions League and the FA Cup final sitting out of the Liverpool game, and then the Millwall game could just be a complete rep 12. I imagine if they're not in with a shout of winning the title. But yeah, I think
the Bolton game should be safe. the Bolton game should be pretty safe because I don't think it can be over before then,
Hmm.
and it's an away game. So Man United should definitely play their best team away against Bolton. But then if the league's done and dusted, away to Liverpool and home to Millwall, there could definitely be rep. Like you say, they'll be on low condition. If the league's done, then crazy rep can happen anyway. So yeah, we definitely need Leeds to drop some points in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, they need to drop 4 points in the next two games for there to be United going in and United to claim 6 points from the next two games plus against win against Middlesbrough, and then there shouldn't be any threat to any United players against Liverpool and Millwall because they could win those two and it would leave them both neck and neck going into the final game week, which would be insane, I think, for not only. Well, I think the treble will just be good for fantasy, but also just a good way to finish the season, like Man United and Leeds head to head.
100%. Yeah, that would be good. But yeah, the triple game week. I think we definitely would have been better off with two doubles because even if Man United are still playing for the league against Millwall, it's 2 days. Is it 2 days after the FA Cup final?
Yeah.
It's a crazy amount of games, isn't it? So they're going to be, if they've played, also it's the Liverpool game first, but yeah. So if they'll play the FA Cup final, then they've got Liverpool that's an away game, and it's a big away game. So if the league is still on, they'll play their best team if they can. Like even if they're at 80-85% odd, I'd expect them to play their best team in that game. It's a big away game. So by the time they get to Millwall, there could be some like properly low condition players, and it's a rep game anyway. Even if the league is on. So I don't know. Like there's potential for that Millwall game to be a write-off. I think, but who knows?
Might be something to look at, like players' stamina and stuff like that. It's like high stamina players might be players that are good to target. Would you say could help?
Yeah, maybe so.
I mean, most of them are all high stamina anyway. Like Rude's 19, Varane 20, Nedved that I've seen flying about as a triple game week option on 20. Because he's a player that won't be playing in the Champions League, so he'll miss one of the fixtures.
Yeah, that's true. Nedved will get a bit of a rest,
but you'd still imagine that he'd play the rest of the fixtures.
I think even with 20 stamina, that is a big ask. Those 3 games in that amount of time.
It would be 4 games in 7 days.
Yeah, exactly. So even with 20 for recovery or stamina, I think that's it's going to be low condition players, but yeah. So maybe the Barthez shout earlier. Obviously, goalkeepers don't suffer from that. So,
last season we had a few people that triple captained Poom, and it paid off for them because I think he kept 1 clean sheet, but then just tallied up the save points as well. And I think it was like an 18 pointer he got over the course of the 3 games with bonus points and save points and appearances, and then a clean sheet, and it was just crazy. It was a good catch for the triple captain. So Bartos could be the way. Only if there is still a possibility though, because otherwise it could be Lille in goal for that Millwall game, which is where there's the clean sheet most likely to happen.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of a minefield. I say the 2 doubles would have given us a lot more certainty. I think, especially the first double would have been pretty safe for a good team in both of the games.
Yeah, Beard has just said it's basically a quintuple game week for United. Yes, it's 5 games in the game week.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but Yes, it's a tough one because you think about game week 38 as well. If the league is done by game week 38, if you've got triple Man United, there's the risk that they don't play in 38 as well, of course. But if the league's done and dusted, but
Yeah. Peter Carter, will they not rep rotate in the FA Cup? I did ask you before we came on this evening, and it's
yeah. So it's
even.
possible. It's possible because the FA Cup has got the competition is a lower reputation than has got a lower reputation than the Premier League. So even though it's the final, it's not as big as a Premier League game. So it is possible, but again, you can't guarantee it. You can't guarantee it. So yeah, it's a big wait and see. It's difficult, isn't it? Because obviously, once the game week starts, your team's locked in, and that's it. You've just got to sit back and see what happens. But
yeah, I think there's a lot happening that in that game week, and we haven't spoken like who's on comms that week. I think it's Luke on comms that week. So we haven't like said how we want to play it out. How we want to play out the game week, whether we want to do it gradually, like because we obviously want to have some suspension there for everyone to make it just that bit more cruel either way for people. But yeah, it's obviously a lot of information to try and fit in. I think we might throw in like the Champions League result like late in the evening after game week 37, and then throw in the FA Cup early morning, and then we'll do the double game, and then we'll do the treble game like either the next morning or that evening or something like that. Because it's just
it'll be good to see who played in the cup games, wouldn't it? Because if you see, Van Nistelrooy, for example, has played the Champions League game and played the FA Cup final, then you'd start to get a bit worried, wouldn't you? But if that's how you want to treat people,
well, I think at the end of the day, everyone. I mean, last week that was the first time I think all season that we'd had a real moment of panic for everyone playing the game. I can't remember many other times this season. Like there was the late Spurs Charlton postponement due to internationals. And I think a lot of people would. I know I had myself. I'd like started targeting Spurs for that fixture and like gradually brought in a couple of players. Lucky I hadn't done the triple up and I just took a -4 to take them both out. But I think stuff like that sent people into like a mini panic. But there's not been any crazy blanks or doubles or anything. So it's
and I suppose the other thing to consider as well, which we haven't mentioned, is Liverpool have progressed as well. So Liverpool have also got a busy schedule for their double.
Yeah. So they play Man United on the Monday at home, and then on the Wednesday they have the UEFA Cup final. So I'd imagine, like the UEFA Cup final is obviously the bigger game, isn't it?
It'd be at least equal, yeah.
Would they rest Man United players against Man United at home?
It's not a rep game, is it? Man United are rep 20. So
yeah, they wouldn't rest anyone. It's
it's a tough one. So consider that as well. If you've got triple Man United and double Liverpool, game week, by the time you get to game week 38, you could be in a pickle. But
I mean, before this week and United qualified, I've still got my bench boost and my triple captain sitting there, and I was planning on triple captaining double game week 36 on a Man United player, and then bench load up, spend the next couple of weeks like loading up on Liverpool and bench boosting 37. But yeah, now it's just I think it's going to be a case of pick one of the next couple of weeks or even game week 38 and just bench boost. Just try and see how the squad shapes up and can I get 15 players out there, which I can't at the moment because of Fatty Denser.
Yeah.
Just checking if there's any other questions that aren't related. Actually, related stuff. No. Right, and did we actually say how we thought Leicester would do? No. I think we just went on the tangent there about the treble. So
We did, yeah.
how I'm fancy. I think it's more just I'm willing Leicester
Yeah.
to grab something. Do you think they could?
Yeah, they could. They could. I'm in the same boat. I would say I bought Muzzy as it in last week because I thought, that Derby game looked good. And then Leicester always attack at home, even against the big teams. So they always give themselves a chance to score. So yeah, they definitely could. I'd expect Leeds to win, but it could easily be like 3-2 or 4-2 or 3-1 or something. They've got a good chance. Like you see, they're 2-2 against Arsenal. So yeah, they've definitely got a chance of scoring. But expect Leeds to win, but both teams to score.
Yeah, just praying. Like, a Leicester win would be amazing. I think it keeps that treble game week wide open. Then Man United Chelsea. I can't go anywhere but a Man United win.
Yeah, this is one of those where it's not the game that it ought to be because Chelsea will see, Man United are rep 20. So they'll go away and defend and they won't really give themselves, the chance that they could do. So yeah, like 2-0 United or something like that, I'm expecting.
I mean, that was.
So it's the opposite of that, basically. Man United go and did the same when they went away to Chelsea. So it's like that in reverse, really. But
well, that was the cup final, so it was.
Oh, that's different in the cup.
When did they play each other? It was back then, 0-0. 0-0 ball draw. So they attacked, and Man United defended.
Yeah, so it's reverse, but Man United are probably slightly better, aren't they, than Chelsea? So they're more likely to get that 1 or 2-0 win. I think.
I'll be at the moment. I think I'm not going to captain Rude because that's boring. So I might captain Veron this week. Yeah, I think out of sort of these first lot of fixtures that we've seen, and there you go. And I don't own a certain asset from the last game. I'll have a quick look at, and I think Veron probably like the best option for me this week. Then finally, Arsenal v Millwall, and I think the highest captain player will come from this game this week.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think anyone needs telling, do they? That it looks like a good home win for Arsenal. 3 or 4-0, I guess, something like that.
Let's just find like a home game against a lesser team. Oh, that's not a good one. Let's not use that as an example. That's an awful example to use. Can we find one? It's not a cup game. Ipswich, Bolton.
What do they do against Charlton at home? That's comparable, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, let's have a look. There we go.
2-1 against Charlton.
Henri must have been injured, I'm guessing.
Okay.
It's either that or everyone's going to be scared of Rep now. So I think Carnu is probably playing instead of Henri.
Yeah.
But it does look. Why was Stepanov's playing? Yeah.
Bit of rotation there. Looks like Ray Parler as well is not first choice.
So do we think there could be potential rotation for Arsenal against Millwall?
There's potential, yeah. It's a rep game, but it's the same as any other week, really. Where they play a lower rep team. I wouldn't.
Does securing European qualification, is that something that makes teams still play their strongest sides?
I don't think so.
And they can. I think mathematically they can still win the league. 13 points behind.
Yeah. So there's not.
They can't win the league. No, they can't
So
win
that
the league.
it just makes it like a normal. It's just a normal chance of rep, same as any other week. I think like it's one of those like what was it like 10 to 15% chance or something. Like I don't think you should let it influence your decisions. If you come out the wrong side of it, then it's just unlucky, really.
Any Millwall players you fancy? Probably not.
No, not this one. Not this one.
Right. If there's any questions anyone else has, we'll just have a quick look at. We've had a look at the Premier League table. Yeah, Charlton relegated. Let's have a look at the First Division. Someone wanted to see that. So Bradford, Southampton, Norwich all guaranteed the playoffs. How many games?
46 they play.
So Bradford probably coming up. Who's at Bradford at the moment? Who's this guy? Ewan Jess.
I remember him playing for Aberdeen in real life.
Yes, he did. And then he moved to Bradford in real life as well. He had a good season last season. Not so good this season. 14 and 43. Who else is there? Peter Hoekstra. He's Dutch. He's very quick. He's a quick Dutchman. Although he's getting slower because he's 30 years old. And he is he moved in game from Stoke. That's Molinar. He's going to Derby, who could be going down.
Oh yeah, good choice.
Silly man.
Yeah. Have they got any money? I always find that interesting. Whether the promoted teams have got any cash secure. Okay.
Yeah, so they might make some signings. Who else is down here? Let's have a quick look at Fulham. Who have they still got? They've still got Zaha, not Zaha, Saha, and Boa Morte there.
They should be doing better with those two still there.
Yeah, it's having a bit of a shit season, Boa Morte. Saha not like massively great season. Just check. No other questions. Let's have a quick flick through the rest of the league. Wigan, QPR, Preston. It looks like Wigan are going down. Who are
the top boys, like the goal scorers and stuff? Is anybody interested in them? So we go player stats at the bottom, and then goals.
Peter Crouch.
Nice.
Wants to move to a bigger club. No one's interested yet. I think it's Harry. Is Harry in charge at Portsmouth in this? Oh, he's the director of football. King Kev is the manager of Portsmouth. He's not letting Crouch go anyway.
That's yeah. I'm a team coach for that one.
Michael Branch. No one wants him. It's only 1.9.
Dean Ashton gets a big move.
Dean Ashton. Such a shame that his career ended early. He was a good striker.
Yeah, maybe. Crouch and Ashton making noises. Maybe they'll move on.
Let's have a quick look. Premier League. I just realised I didn't go through all this. Goal. Phillips and Van Nistelrooy tied at the top after Phillips grabbed a brace. But yeah, Van Nistelrooy, I'd make him a slight favourite still because he's got the couple of games in hand. Assists. Johnston, I think he got an assist this week, taking him on to 13. Two guy up there.
Slowed right down since I signed him. Two guy.
Oh, he's one of these players that every now and again I'm like, let's just punt on him because he's got the fixture and it just never works.
He was a staple of my season one team, but I've only brought him in recently this season, and he's early sub dropped. Oh well.
Van Nistelrooy, top of the average ratings, he'll finish at the top. So Henri, so those two are probably pretty much, unless Viduka goes crazy in the like 2 games that he'll play because of his injury. You'd imagine that those two will make the team of the year.
Yeah.
Let's just have a quick look. Goalkeepers.
Well, there you go. Mazida's second. So, yeah, he did deserve to be on the bench for the team of the year. So.
Yes, Kalina up there. Mark Tyler, 6.39. I think he only played a couple of games. Southgate up there. Desai, Terry, Silvestre. Desai and Terry weren't in the...
No, Melchiot was thrown in centre midfield.
Yeah, Desai and Terry didn't make it.
I think Player of the Year should be there. Actually, we won't have Manager of the Year, but Player of the Year should be there.
No, it's got Players Team of the Year, Manager of the Year.
No, okay, fair enough. I think it's coming. I think it does happen before the end, but obviously not quite yet.
It doesn't sit in there. So defenders. Just scroll down a little bit to see them. Midfielders. Veron up there. Gardner.
Gary Kelly.
Oh, I suppose he's played most of the season at right wing back, isn't he? So
yeah, he does. Yeah, that's why I was surprised. I was thinking, hang on, he's not a midfielder. But
so we've got Arca was someone we changed his position in pre-season. Then there's Gardner, Kelly, Singh. So 3 of the top 5 defenders in the game for us. Ronnie Johnson's down there as well. And then attackers. This is why I'm thinking box it for this week as my move from Pedersen. Just
right there,
I just think, just edges Ricard just slightly. I can't. Only it's like really slightly, but I just think it's the more reliable for a return. As Ricard, although now I've said that, if anyone watching fancies it, just captain Ricard and watch the hat trick come in because I haven't picked him.
Yeah, I think with that with those two, I think if you said to me one of them scores, I'd say I'm not really sure who it is. If you said to me one of them scored a hat trick, I'd say it's box it.
Oh, now you've said it. Cool. I think that is everything. That would be pre-season chat for season 3. Gardner, defender or midfielder? He'll be a midfielder. If season 3 happens, he'll be a midfielder. So I think that's it. Is there anything else that you think we should have covered?
I don't think so, mate. I think we've
done the job quite well. I hope Luke is proud. Just quickly flip through 2, 4, 6, and 7, 8, 9. So there's the 10 fixtures there. 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. Ooh. 10 fixtures there. And then the double, the treble, and then the final game week. So I always have to do that just to double check there's no fixtures that have been moved around. That's how I spotted the Spurs Charlton game earlier this season. I was like, wait a minute, there's only 9 fixtures here. Where's the 10th fixture gone? And then worked it all out and I was like, what? Why? How? Cool. So that's it. The website will be up to date in probably about 10-15 minutes time with all the flags. Normal kickoff time this week for Gameweek 35 with Mode and Irons, and you'll all be happy to know that Chris, FPL captain, is back doing the graphics, so there won't be any fuck ups at the start. Which I made a few errors at the beginning. hopefully wasn't too noticeable.
No,
But
not
yeah,
at all.
cheers for joining us, and we shall see you again soon. Cheers,
All
guys.
right. Cheers, Founder. Thanks, everyone.